welcome to all of you for our 8th Club Edition 2. We are at the 8th session, and today we have a very, very interesting speaker as well as a very interesting topic, that is storytelling. A warm welcome to our speaker. Welcome to you, ma'am. A warm welcome to our students. Thank you for joining us for the 8th session, and also a warm welcome to all our RBA members. So let's not delay much. So let's begin with the session. So before going ahead, I would like to request our President Arvind sir to speak a few words.
Good evening all, and warm welcome to each and every participants, and also a warm welcome to Prerana Madam for the 8th session of 2nd edition of CLAP program from Rotary Bangalore Abilities. Today's topic is storytelling. So when you say storytelling, we heard so many stories from our grandma, grandpa, papa, and our Mava. In Kannada we say Mava uncle. So these are all very, very interesting stories which made us a good human being. So this storytelling is a wonderful part of our life. So today we are listening to a new story, and before the session I came to know in this session we have 2 storytellers. So there will be a competition. Let's see how it goes. Warm welcome to all the participants and those who are attending all the sessions. Congratulations for them. I want please announce what all the sessions you have learned so far. Someone please come up and announce the topics which we have covered. So thank you very much, Chandana.
Thank you so much, Arvind sir. So I would like to request Pushpa to give a brief intro about our speaker today. So over to you, Pushpa.
Thank you, Chandana. Good evening, everybody. I am Pushpa. Today I am going to give a brief introduction about our speaker for today, Miss Prerana ma'am. Prerana has 18 years experience in corporate sector. She has interested in storytelling and poetry reader. She has conducted a program for students and various NGOs. She has her own YouTube channel for the disability awareness. Thank you, Prerana ma'am. Welcome for the stage.
Thank you so much, Pushpa. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. So let's not delay the session. So over to you, ma'am. Looking forward to hear from you. Welcome once again.
Thank you so much, Pushpa. Thank you so much, Arvind, Chandna, for the warm welcome. And thank you, Rotary, for doing such a wonderful job of organizing such amazing sessions, and all the best for your future sessions to come.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Before we start, can anybody tell me what exactly is storytelling and what exactly do we think a storyteller is? Or do these things have any significance in our lives, in the present world?
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, please.
In a story means a summary about someone or some topic, saying a brief detail about that topic.
Okay.
Or else history about it.
Good.
Say
Very good.
For example, if any person on any person we have to say a story, then we will just say his or her history, that how he or she was in her past, her or his pastime, what is his or her qualities, and
Absolutely.
some more.
Absolutely. So does storytelling or does listening or reading to stories, they have any impact in the present times? And
No, ma'am.
no. Okay. And why there is a storyteller then? Or who is a storyteller?
Okay.
It has impact, ma'am.
It has impact.
Yes, ma'am. It has an impact.
It has an impact.
Yes, ma'am.
How?
Because with the help of story, we can get to know that what was his or her history, means how he or she was in the past time.
So who is a storyteller then?
The person.
Come on, guys.
Prerana ma'am, everybody is a storyteller. I think so.
Everybody is a storyteller. But then everybody is a storyteller. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So what qualities or what are the things that makes a storyteller or makes one storyteller stand out of the others? What are the things that you guys think are there, are required, or what?
Explaining about the qualities.
Style.
One by one. Narration style. Yes.
Expressing the qualities.
Expressing the qualities. What does expressing the qualities means?
Say, for example, if someone is saying a story about a person, then
so highlighting their qualities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Expressing in a clear way.
Pronunciation, good pronunciation.
Expressing in a clear way.
Expressing their views in clear way, ma'am.
Expressing their views in a clear way. Okay. Okay. Brilliant. All right. So Devika said she loves mythology, and I was thinking, let's take up the topic as mythology today to listen to a story and see whether it has any relevance in present world and what are the things a storyteller should have. It may be something that you already know. It may be something different. Let's see. So let me start with a story today. How many of you are aware of Mahabharata? Have you read, heard, watched Mahabharata?
Yeah, I have heard.
Yes, ma'am.
We all have. So what is Mahabharata? What story? What does the Mahabharata signify? What is Mahabharata? What is it all about?
Ma'am, it is all about war, between war of two sets of cousins.
Okay. Anybody else?
It teaches us to walk on the path of dharma despite various problems that people could face, but still they stick to the path of dharma and try to live their life.
How many of you agree that Mahabharata is the story of the war? You can just raise the hands in the chat, or you can just say, everybody just say their name and that's about it.
Ma'am, it's not just a story of war, but it talks about various qualities, and it's not just a story about war, ma'am. It talks about the different issues of the different characters face in the epic.
Okay, so
we consider the war is something which is highlighting, but there are sub points has to be considered.
Perfect. So the first thing first, what happens is Mahabharata is often considered as those 18 days war that was fought at Kurukshetra's field. But there are too many things which are there in the forms of stories, incidents, in those 18 days, whatever happened before those 18 days, and whatever happened after those 18 days. Okay. Mahabharata is not just about that. It was Gita Sar, which was that Kurukshetra battle. Whatever happened preceded, whatever led to those battles is something different. So we, as the generation, the present generation, we don't even know where the roots of our culture lies. And it is a storyteller's responsibility to narrate it in such a manner, to present it in such a manner that it not only enthralls the audiences, but also conveys a message, a story, which creates the roots, the base of our knowledge about our own culture. And that is irrespective of the boundaries, whether we belong to India or any other country, whether it's the northern or the southern part of India. So after the Kurukshetra battle ended, the war was done with, all the Pandavas were asked to go to Chitragupta. Do we know who was Chitragupta?
The person with Lord Yama who keeps account of all the punya and papas.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well done, well done. So Chitragupta is the associate of Lord Yama, Yamraj, as we know him, who keeps a record of your good and the bad deeds. So the Pandavas, along with Krishna ji, went into Chitragupta, and over there, they were taking a lekha jokha of the good and the bad deeds of all the Pandavas. When it was Krishna's turn, Krishna was asked, as per him, who and what led to the end of the Kurukshetra war in Mahabharata. So now my first question to all of you is, as per you, what led to the end of Mahabharata, the Kurukshetra war?
The death of Duryodhan, ma'am.
Brilliant. Well done. I've got only one mythological superstar over here.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, please.
The lose of negativity.
Yes, it was the ending of negativity, but which incident or what led to the end of negativity?
End of war.
End of war was there because of what incident?
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, anybody else would like to attempt? Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Death of all Kauravas.
Death of all Kauravas or one Kaurav?
Ma'am, all Kauravas, I think, because last Duryodhan was remaining, but when he died, means when he also killed, then war was end.
So at the end, it was Duryodhan whose ending led to the death of Duryodhan was the only way to end the Kurukshetra war. Yes or no? Come on,
yes,
guys. Again, just the one voice is there.
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Duryodhan, we all agree that it was the end of Duryodhana which led to Kurukshetra war, because even after the death of 99 Kauravas or innumerable people who were participating from Kaurav's side, whether it was Karna, whether it was Duryodhan or any Bhishma Pitama, they all were injured, killed, or on the Mrityu Shayya in one way or the other. But till the time Duryodhan was not killed, the end of the negativity wouldn't have happened. right? So who led to the end of Duryodhan? Which Pandav, as per you, was the one who was the warrior? Who was
Bhimsen, ma'am.
Bhim?
Bhim.
Not the
And
same.
Bhim, ma'am,
Arjun.
exactly.
Bhim.
No, Bhim, ma'am.
Bhim.
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
How?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, when the fight will be with Duryodhana and Bhima, Krishna silently tells him hit to his the thighs. So there, his heart.
That led to the killing of Duryodhan.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
Throughout the war, which warrior was the one?
Ma'am, Arjuna.
Acha, ma'am is Arjuna? No, ma'am is Prerna.
No, Arjuna.
Okay, in that case, Arjuna can consider, I guess.
In that case, we can consider Arjuna. Why?
Because he was Krishna was saving him, ma'am. So that's the reason he was staying safely, because he was safeguarding him.
So he was being safeguarded by Krishna, and he became the biggest warrior, the best warrior, the most significant warrior throughout the war. Tell me, come on, where you are thinking at?
Because Arjun was reluctant to do the war, and when Krishna convinced him, then only war had started. So I think.
So that made him a good warrior? He was running away from his duties. He was running away what was being expected out of him. So that made him a great warrior?
Ma'am, could you repeat your question, ma'am? I couldn't understand the question.
The question is quite confusing, ma'am, basically.
Precisely the point, guys. That's what a storyteller does. The job of a storyteller is not just to narrate a story or tell you what the story of a particular incident is. You guys were bang on correct. It is Bhima, Bhim and only Bhim, who is the most focused, who is the most significant warrior throughout the Mahabharata. But everybody considers Arjun because of his role, all the events, because of him, Gita happened. But it is Bhim only. You were right. I just changed your perception, your train of thoughts with one question, and you got lost. Wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Just one yes. Now everybody else is like eyebrows अपने से कोड़ के बैठे हुए कि ये क्या है?
No, ma'am. Actually, I realized it.
Yes.
Hello?
You're slightly confused us because I had Mahabharata
and you was like your question actually.
No, basically you were trying to make quite confusion. So that's what happened.
Yes, that precisely what I was trying to do. Because if I would have just said yes, it was Bhim, and the thing would have ended right there and then. So storyteller is supposed to present everything in such a manner that a simple incident has got a lot of turns and twists into it. Okay. It was a simple question. You all were right. But the way I said it as a storyteller, it made your confidence also go for a toss. You all were so confidently saying, yes, it was Bhima and you were right. And trust me, guys, I am amazed. I've done these Mahabharat sessions with so many groups by now. Yours is the first group that could pinpoint Bhima at the first go. So big applause to all of you.
Talia.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so that was a very smart thing. And yes, it was Bhim. Arjun was actually not a good warrior. He was running away from his duties. He had all the lower emotions with him. He had anger, he had jealousy, he had insecurity. He did not even trust his own guru, which was Krishna. Krishna was not just his friend. He was guide, mentor, philosopher, everything for Arjun. And still his one weakness.
You are not audible.
It was his
No, you're audible, ma'am.
She is
I
audible.
guess It is his network issue.
Can I continue?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. So it was Arjun's inadequacy, but it has been highlighted in such a manner that everywhere Arjuna is considered as the biggest warrior. Okay. Now, let me share one more story with you, and then let's deduce whether that story has got any meaning into it and whether that meaning is anywhere important in today's life. Because storytellers, they don't just convey something which did not happen in front of us, or they convey it in such a manner that it is interesting for everybody, that they're enthralled. Storytelling is not just for the radio jockeys. It is not just for the filmmakers. It is not just for the playwriters or the actors. Storytelling has become a very integral part in the corporate world right now to convey anything. We all are storytellers, as you guys had already said in the beginning of the session. When we share the stories with our younger siblings, with our kids, with even when तुझे पता है आज मेरे साथ क्या हुआ, आज जब मैं कॉलेज आ रहा था ना, even that's a story. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Agreed.
So the storyteller, let me share a story with you, and then you listen to it and tell me, is there any meaning to it, or can that be utilized in today's world anywhere? So Mahabharat, it started because of the anger of Duryodhan. He had, through the game of dice, taken away Indraprastha, which was Pandava's land. He was immensely enchanted with the beauty of Indraprastha. So he wanted that land, and with the help of his mama Shakuni, he went away and looted everything from Pandav. When they came back from the exile, they were to give back that land to the Pandavas, but Duryodhan refused. On listening to this, Krishna went to meet Duryodhan to try and get some sense into Duryodhan and to make him realize his falsehood and to come to a certain point and give back the land to Pandavas. He went over there and he said, okay, let me just get 5 villages, 5 gram for the Pandavas where they will go and rule. Duryodhan just simply refused, and he just said, I will not even give them an ounce of land, even not enough that will cover the tip of the needle. How can you even expect me to give them? They did not fulfill any of the wishes. Krishna tried and talk sense to him. He went and he did talk to Duryodhan to find out any kind of mid path. I don't think so one of you is aware that Krishna had even showed him the avatar roop of Vishnu, the same one which was showed to Arjuna at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. To which Duryodhan said, I know you are God, but I only work in ego. And ego is stopping me from giving anything to Pandavas. This again led to the war of Mahabharata. So what was Krishna exhibiting, or what was in this story Krishna was trying to exhibit as a nature that one should inculcate in present world? Can you tell me, any one of you? What was Krishna trying to do with Duryodhan?
He was trying to convince Duryodhan to give the part of land back to whom it was.
Okay.
He was not actually willing to get any kind of consequences, like getting started the war and all. So that's why he was trying to end up there itself.
It was, he was
Convincing.
trying to end the war. Okay.
Yeah, by convincing Duryodhana.
Avert the war.
Avert the war. Yes, Justin.
Avert the war, exactly.
Thank you for the correct English. Yes, I could hear some more responses. So what is this entire communication between Duryodhan? Does it have any significance or relevance in the present times?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
absolutely.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What this interaction is called in the present times, if you all guys, you all are studying in colleges and you all have to start working somewhere or the other. So does these kind of natural capabilities, do they have any significance right now in the corporate world or anything?
Counseling.
Can we have counseling is okay. Can we have another word?
Convincing.
Convincing. So convincing to do what? While convincing, what are we trying to do?
To do the right thing, ma'am. To think and do that, I should not harm others.
Exactly.
So in the corporate world, what do we call this? Where we are trying to find a middle path, where we are trying to
compromise.
Is it called compromise?
No, not compromise.
Think.
Compromise.
No, where we are trying to generate a win-win situation for all the parties involved. Think from a corporate.
Conference or something like.
Conference is to come to a certain conclusion about a certain problem, a certain situation. What are these skills called?
I'm not getting the word, but
Communication skill.
No, he is trying to convince through his communication skills. But what was he trying to do? What was he trying to do between Kauravas and Pandavas?
Bring the loosen the enmity, ma'am. Like.
Yeah, using the enmity to do what?
No, ma'am, to avoid that kind of enmity, ma'am, the gap.
Terms and conditions, settlement.
Exactly.
Yeah, settlement. Think. There is a one word for it.
Not getting that word.
Negotiation.
Exactly.
He was trying to negotiate between Kauravas and Pandavas to come to an amicable decision where the war is
exactly. Yes.
So we are as trainers, because I have been a corporate trainer, and storytelling is something which has become a very integral part of corporate trainings. The best way to inculcate an ability into anybody, be it a kid, be it an adolescent, be it a young adult, or be it anybody in the corporate field, the best way to convey a message is storytelling. I did not even recite the entire story in the entire flow of the things. Till now, I haven't shared any story with you, have I?
Yeah.
I have just told you some incident, some part of it, and I've just asked you to think, and it has made your thinking caps get activated. That's what a storyteller is all about. I made you think in the opposite direction, and I shook up your confidence level by just putting one doubt. It wasn't Bhim. And suddenly everybody went towards Arjun, who was not even a warrior. The second story I made you think about the incidents and what skills in the present times are there which already were depicted in mythology. And that is a job of a storyteller. Get your facts there through your stories, narrate the story, let the participants come up and come with their thought process and let them come up with the answers. That not only will tell you as a storyteller that what are the perceptions that your audiences have, and help you to work on them in future. So storytelling is not just about sharing a story, an incident, or something that happened with you as an individual. Do you know the stand-up comedies are also part of storytelling? Do you think so? Anybody there? Knock, knock.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely right.
What?
A story, stand-up comedy is a part of storytelling.
How?
Through humor, they say stories.
And it is presented in such a manner that it's a story which makes you laugh.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that so?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am, very true.
Before today, did you even had that thought? Stand-up comedy is always considered as something different from storytelling. Storytelling के अंदर में क्या सोचा जाता है? एक आरजे आएगा, अमीन सियानी की आवाज निकालेगा, and he or she is going to present a story and incident in such a manner that it will make you think. But storytelling is much beyond. It's much deep. It is just that, oh yaar, ye teri aankh pe kya hua? What happened to your eye? Oh, you won't believe what happened with me today. I was coming and on the way, I saw this amazing, beautiful looking woman. And dang, that's also storytelling. So storytelling in our lives has got much more significance than we give any importance to. And trust me, if you guys have got, Devika said that she's got interest in mythology. Mythology has lost its essence in the present times. Unfortunately, when I do storytelling with the corporates or even with the college students, for them, Ram, actually the WhatsApp messages that comes, okay, Ram is actually a dude who went to a forest camp to find out his babe Sita. It actually happened with me. So you guys, anybody who thinks of becoming a storyteller or storytelling as a medium is the best way to teach anybody anything about any virtue, any incident. If you have to learn about geography, if you have to learn about history, anything, if it is taken, read, or learned in the form of a story, you will never forget it. The stories which, as Arvind had rightly said, the grandmas and the grandpas and the parents, the sisters, the brothers who have ever told us any story, any time in our life, we will always remember them. So all you need to do is, as you said in the beginning, it is not even about pronunciation. Be natural as a storyteller. Even if you're pronouncing a particular word in a different manner, let it be your quality. It's okay. Nilesh Misra, I don't know whether anybody in southern part of India has ever heard him, but he's quite a known person, RJ, in northern part of India. But he is so slow. He's actually called Slow Motion and he's got an app named Slow Motion. But he has used his inadequacy as a plus point, as his USP. So storytellers are expected to be natural with whatever way they have the pronunciation, the flow. It's how you make them interesting, how you use songs, how you recite a particular incident, whether you use humor into it. You can even put songs in it, which are maybe from a movie, which are maybe your own. And storytellers, they just don't go and tell you about a particular incident, as many of the participants have said, maybe about a person, a biopic. Just recently on KBC, one Gujarati actor had come who had portrayed for a few minutes an episode from one of his play on Mahatma Gandhi. Through that presentation itself, we got a glimpse of the ideology, the personality of Mahatma Gandhi.
Ma'am, we can't hear you.
Who's this?
Hello.
I
Someone,
think Muhammad Aftab, yours is.
Ma'am, we are not able to hear you. You are not audible.
Her speaker is muted. Maybe she'll come back.
Sir, someone is unmuting and it's getting kind of a disturbance. Some vehicle sounds and all. So please.
There might be some issue with her mic.
Muhammad Aftab, you please mute yourself.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
How did I go on mute?
Yeah.
No, I only did because I can't. I didn't find whose speaker is doing nice. So
that is part of the story. Twist and turns.
Okay.
Brilliant. So till where did you guys listen to and where did I go on mute?
Nilesh Sharma, slow motion, commotion, emotion.
And now you are challenging my devotion. Okay, so I was just saying that as a storyteller, use whatever you have as your USP. We are not supposed to imitate or copy anybody. We are not supposed to follow whatever comes from your heart, the way you want to present it. Storytellers are creative and they use a lot of styles. Nilesh Mishra's slow motion style of talking has actually become his USP. Recently, now I've even forgotten what all I had said at that point of time. Recently on KBC, there was this Gujarati actor who had come and he plays the role of Mahatma Gandhi in a lot of Gujarati plays. He enacts as Mahatma Gandhi. His portrayal is there. So that is also storytelling. It is just that, and when you are doing storytelling in person, it is different from the storytelling when you're doing it through a medium like YouTube or a podcast. Okay? But your body language in both the places, they do matter. So we as storytellers, we are supposed to maintain a body posture. A voice quality definitely is required. But naturally, what comes is the most important. So as Nilesh Mishra's example I was taking, that even if he's a slow storyteller, he still has worked so much upon himself and his style that it has become his USP instead of something that can be his low point. Similarly, as a storyteller, the story, of course, is the most important thing, whether it is based on an incident, a human, an identity, or anything that had happened with you as the first-hand experience. So story, you need to take care of the audiences that you're catering to. The story has to be, of course, if I'm sharing a story with a young kid, I am going to use a lot of modulation. But if I start taking a session with you, hi guys, how are you today? Of course, you will go like, what has happened to Rotary? What kind of a trainer they've got today? Of course, your modulation is required based on the audiences that you have. But again, as a storyteller, modulation is not very important. It is not something which you have to do. Pankaj Kapoor, Paresh Rawal, Nasruddin Shah, they read scripts, just the scripts on the stage. And it is huge success because of just the way they present it. They just sit on a chair or stand at in front of a particular backdrop, and they just do it. So the most important thing is the story. Second, the style. Work on your own USP. What makes you different from the others as a storyteller? And storytelling has got immense scope, not just to improve your own communications by listening to English stories, which tells you, or the Hindi stories, which enhances your knowledge, the English stories, which helps you in your presentation, pronunciation. Because by reading newspapers, you cannot work on your English, your communication. It was only through storytelling, because when we communicate, we are supposed to have emotions. And we learn those emotions by only listening to the stories. So storyteller, through their own emotions, have to exhibit what the story is all about. Now, as a storyteller, I will not come and say, you know what happened? 12 people got killed today in a road crash. Of course, I cannot do that. So how you exhibit your emotions through the story is very important. Your voice quality, of course, very important. But that all can only work on if your content is excellent and if you're confident about your content. I am done. I will not like to give many more gyan to any one of you. If you have any questions, let's go ahead and do that. I think I've made everybody gone off to sleep.
No, ma'am, it was quite interesting.
Okay. So you can ask me questions and I can add on if you want to. Are we in the time limit, or did I speed up the things?
Hello.
Yes.
Myself, Pushpa, ma'am. I want to ask one question.
Yes, Pushpa, please.
For a storyteller, they have to creating capacity should be more than the thing, right?
Creating capacity should be more than the thing. Can you elaborate what exactly you want to know?
Means when we are writing the stories, they have to create some situations, right?
See, you have to first think on what genre you want to work on as a storyteller. What is your choice? Do you like to read about horror, about real life, about history, about love of any sort, not just girlfriend, boyfriend, but any relationship? And take up one genre and then create your story around it. It should not be something which is very long.
Okay.
It should not be something which should be abrupt.
Okay.
More than being creative, as a storyteller, you are expected to present it beautifully. There's a difference between a storyteller and a story writer.
How, ma'am?
How?
Yeah.
Story writer has to work on the concept.
Okay.
Has to work on the grammar.
Okay.
Has to ensure that it is not something which is grammatically correct, and something which has got a beginning and an end and a flow to reach that end. ऐसा नहीं है that I'm going right and suddenly I like the left side and I go left and then suddenly I realize no, right was better. So you have to be clear in your concept while you're writing the story. And that same clarity should be there in you as a presenter.
Okay.
If the writer is writing with sadness in them, like a poet. A poet is writing a poem. Ghalib was known as a sad writer. If you will present Ghalib's poetry with a smile on your face, you're doing injustice to Ghalib. So we need to understand the feeling behind the particular story, poem, or the incident. Why am I sharing a particular incident with you? Because I want to put across a concept, or I just want to bring a smile on your face, or I just want to convey a message. So my presentation style will also be like that.
Okay.
That's
Means we have to decide what kind of stories we have to write, right?
Absolutely. And we write best what we like to read. I love reading something with emotions. So I write also something which has got emotions, not necessarily a love poem, or not necessarily something to do with heartbreak or hardships. Something which has got some inspiration in it is what I would always like to read. So I write on that only.
Question.
Okay. Yeah.
Myself Siddharth.
Yes,
and after
Siddharth.
seeing that today's topic, I got quite thrilled because hence I'm a student of literature. So literature, story, it's almost interlinked, basically. So I do love storytelling, ma'am, and I'm a good convincer. Like people can able to understand what I tell and what I speak, and I'm a good reader.
Voice for that. You have a good voice for that also.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm a reader of course, and I do write too. So that's enough to that's other qualities enough to become a storyteller. My question.
Absolutely, Siddharth. Because see, now you said that you're a literature student. Shakespeare, of course, we all have to read. And the presentation of Macbeth, which was done by Vishal Bhardwaj in his movie, of Hamlet. So he is also a storyteller. He has presented Macbeth, Hamlet, Othello, all in his pictures, and the entire concept is India based. You cannot be a good storyteller till the time you're not a good reader. I am a sponge when it comes to reading, when it comes to information. Because I read a lot, I'm able to express it. I love talking. I love expressing. And that, as a storyteller, are the qualities which are very, very important. So yes, these attributes are enough for you to go ahead. Rest everything you can develop. The skills of a storyteller.
Basic necessary thing.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry?
I mean, these are the very basic necessary things.
Yes.
Which has to be there.
Yes.
Right,
because if you have conviction, see, as a storyteller, whether you're telling the story which is a reality or not, that depends on you. Now, as a storyteller, I just put a question in your brains. Bhima was not the right person. Everybody gave me the right answer. Everybody immediately said Bhim. मैंने क्या किया था? मैं तो सिर्फ एक doubt डाला था. So that's a storyteller.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome. Did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay. Any other questions?
I hope I am audible to you.
Yes.
Myself, Devansh.
Hi, Devansh.
Hello, ma'am. I wanted to ask you that I observe in some stories, will be firstly in this story will be started from very emotion, and then before 2 or 3 sentences, some funny scenes will be there. So if I am a storyteller, the scenes will be emotional. Means my sound will be very low, and I believe I perform that like the scene is very emotional. But on the same time, in 2 or 3 sentences, the scene will be changed. So how will I act? I wanted to know.
Okay. That is something that you have to feel from within as a storyteller. You're not supposed to go over the top for anything. Whether it is when you're presenting an emotional scene, okay, when you are presenting an emotional scene in the back of the mind, think of one incident that had happened in your own life which made you experience the same emotion. The flow of your voice will automatically go in the same direction. And you have to present it in such a, this will happen only with the practice. It's not something which is going to happen overnight or immediately. If while reading the particular story, while reciting, trust me guys, when I did my first recording, I am a good storyteller. That is what everybody tells me. When I did my first recording and I sent it, the feedback I got was, ये तो ऐसा लग रहा है कोई पादरी sermon दे रहा है. Somebody is giving a lecture. So this attribute of yours can only be developed through practice. And as I said, you have to first feel that emotion that you want to express. And then by the time you reach that point where the funny part is about to start, you have to lower down that emotional part and then be neutral. And then towards the funny part, have a physical smile on your face. So that by the end, you reach the end of the story, that smile is evident in your voice as well. Does that answer your question or not?
Yes, ma'am. But it's quite difficult, actually. It's quite difficult.
Yes, it is difficult. It is not going to happen immediately.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, I wanted to listen your stories. If it is possible to share.
Definitely, it is possible. I can... Name of my channel is Prerna. That's Prerna. Prerna K. K-E. P-A-N-N-O-S-E. Prerna K Panno Se. I can share the link with Justin because he is my point of contact and he can share them with you. Over there, especially for your question, I have recorded a horror story with a twist. Listen to that horror story of mine. There are 2 of them. One is called Hasya Horror. The other one is called Twisted Story. The Twisted Story is a real life incident that happened with my own father and my friend's father from college. Listen to that, you will get your answer because exactly that is what been done in that story. Imagine a horror story with a funny ending. Can you ever imagine that?
God.
Yes.
No, ma'am.
I am sorry, but I have opened the suspense in totality. But for you guys to understand the difference, how to present, listen to those 2 stories. One is a twisted story and the other one is Hasya Horror. It's a horror story with funny ending.
Wow, ma'am.
So
that's
Justin, really... thank you so much. So that is where your creativity is. Express, expose, and explore. It's very important to become a storyteller. And experiment. Only then all these 3 things will happen. जब तक experiment करने का सोचोगे नहीं, ना express कर पाओगे, neither you will be able to explore and then nobody will get to experience it. Justin, I will share the link with you. Kindly share it with your students. With these participants.
Definitely.
So I will share it with him and now you have to catch hold of him to get the channel link.
Anybody else has any more questions?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Any other questions do we have?
That's all questions.
I think they have understood everything very to the code of it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful session. Thank you so much for your valuable time, and thanks for coming and conducting this wonderful session for all of us. It was really very interesting, and we all learned a lot from this session. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I hope I was able to justify it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful experience. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for your guidance.
I'll share the link here, so I think it's the one.
You're most welcome. Sorry, what did you say?
Share the link here, ma'am. So I think it's the
yeah,
one.
yeah. I'll surely share it with Justin, and he will share it with you guys.